many people, the Dominican Republic is mainly this.
When in truth, it is so much more.
If you venture out of the mainstream holiday resorts with their overpriced hotels, you will find a plentitude of beaches that don't just look fucking incredible, but also none of them will be crowded. And some of them you'll even have totally to yourself. I found the best beaches at the north coast and on Semana Peninsula.
If you are one of those people who like looking at Caribbean beaches, and my guess is you do, then check out my video about the 10 best beaches of the Dominican Republic. You might actually pretty much like it.
To get to this understandably popular waterfall, most tours start from Las Paradas, where you can hire one of the local farmers to take you there. You could of course also walk up there.
It's a 1-hour walk or 15 minutes on horseback.
On your way, you will be surrounded by lush green hills inside a wild jungle landscape that is scattered with creeks, natural pools, and countless opportunities to spot some tropical wildlife. Now keep in mind that the water of the pool beneath the waterfall is too deep and cold for a bath. But don't worry, the drop of these 40 meters high waterfall is so powerful that you will get wet anyway, just standing near it. The not-so-pretty working-class town and namesake of the peninsula Semana is visited by most tourists for one reason: whale watching. I myself went there for a different reason though. The Semana bridges to nowhere. This string of 3 bridges were built in the 1960s and 70s. The main reason behind this construction is not exactly known. Some say it was a money laundering attempt of drug cartels. Others say that the investments were undertaken in hopes of making the islands into a tourist hub around a large restaurant on the last of the islands. Well, that restaurant never opened, but the rundown bridges stand until today, leading to actually somewhere, namely to splendid views of Semana town, the harbour and the surrounding hills.
By the way, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like or share it on your social media. Also, subscribe to my channel.
Santo Domingo is a unique mixture between a Latin American metropolis, a seaside holiday spot, a living museum, and a bunch of Caribbean restaurants, bars and nightclubs to make you go loco. This capital city isn't just the cultural, political and economic center of the Dominican Republic. Santo Domingo is also the oldest continuously inhabited European settlement on the entire American continent, founded by Christopher Columbus himself and his brother. The city's colonial zone is a UNESCO declared World Heritage Site, so my advice is to spend at least 3 days here. In case you don't know where to start, check out this video where I show you the top 10 places in Santo Domingo. If you need to relax from the hot beaches or from the bustling metropolis of Santo Domingo, your best bet is to venture north, right into the cool highlands of the Cordillera Central mountain range. Here you will see heavily forested mountain peaks interspersed with curvy roads, spectacular valleys, rivers and waterfalls that are unparalleled in the whole Caribbean. You will pass through numerous small villages where you can witness how the country's 2 best-known resources are cultivated and processed: tobacco for cigars and sugarcane for rum. shooting from a gaping hole inside a rock and plunging from 60 meters high. Himenoa Falls is so picturesque a sight that one of the opening scenes of Jurassic Park was filmed here. There are 2 waterfalls here, but Himenoa 1 is the lesser known, so there's a high chance you'll have the place for yourself, just as I did. Walking 20 minutes downhill from the small parking lot near the main road, you'll find some natural ice-cold pools to dip yourself into. If you do, however, keep clear of possibly dangerous whirling currents and a colony of wasps. When Christopher Columbus sailed here in 1493, he was so amazed by the sun's reflections in the water, which seemed to him like a sea of thousands of glittery silver coins, that he named this place Puerto Plata, literally meaning silver port. Not far from the seafront promenade, you'll discover the recently refurbished Parque Central. Take your time to wander through the surrounding streets, as they are full of beautifully colored and ornamented mansions, once owned by the city's rich tradesmen. The dunes of Bani are the only desert of the Dominican Republic. I hear it's quite busy over the weekend, but as I went there on a weekday, I had to share the place only with the local wildlife. Here you'll most likely meet lizards, an abundance of birds, and your occasional stray goat. These sand dunes stretch over an area of 20 square kilometers along the seashore, and some of them reach an impressive height of 35 meters. Now, interestingly, this unique landscape has been created by the 2 rivers Bahia and Nisao that both bring sediments piling up here where the rivers reach the sea. And what's really cool about this desert is that it is right next to the main road. Driving along the east coast on Road 5, you will notice an area that is full of coconut trees. At your right hand, watch out for a dude selling paintings and coconut water.
And that's where you stop.
Here you can witness an amazing and somewhat scary natural phenomenon that occurs when the relentless power of the ocean waves hit against the sharp rocks. The constant splashing of the waves against these rocks has created natural underground channels here, and when the waves rush in, you are definitely in for some action. Likely enter Aitices on a kayak or a boat. Once you leave the narrow channels cut through the mangroves, you'll understand where the name of this national park derives from. In the indigenous language of the Taino people, Aiti means high mountains. Aitices, that also served as a shooting location for Jurassic Park, has become one of the Caribbean regions with the highest biodiversity. Around 700 species of plants and 113 species of birds have been counted here so far. Watch the multiple pelican colonies that nest in the cays here and see the remnants of an ancient railroad system that was built to exploit the riches of this area. On the mainland, you will be led through a complex of caves that are full of mysterious rock carvings and ancient pictographs made by the Taino people centuries ago, before the times of the Spanish colonization.